All right, let's dive into something that, well, a lot of us do without even realizing it. We're going to take a look at the architecture of overgiving in our relationships.
So, let me just start by asking you this, and I want you to be really honest with yourself for a second. Do you find that you are constantly giving more energy, more understanding, more of yourself than you ever seem to get back? If that question lands with you, then you're definitely in the right place.
You know, this feeling, it's so common, and it actually has a name. We're going to call it the giving imbalance, and it's really the foundation for everything we're about to explore.
So what does this imbalance actually feel like? Well, it's that pattern, isn't it? That sense that you're always pouring from your own cup to fill up everyone else's, and then you look down and there's barely anything left for you. It is just exhausting.
Okay, so the big question is, where does this even come from? Are we just born this way? Well, what the research suggests is that it's not that simple at all. It's usually an echo, something from way back in our past.
And the roots of this overgiving can often be traced back to this fascinating field called attachment psychology. Basically, it's the science of how our very first relationships, with our parents or caregivers, create a kind of a blueprint. And that blueprint subconsciously guides how we connect with people for our entire adult lives.
Now, for some of us, that blueprint creates this really powerful and often totally hidden motivation. It creates this deep internal drive to become irreplaceable.
And this drive, it kicks off a whole chain reaction. See, it often starts with what we could call a core wound, this old feeling deep down that we were somehow replaceable, that our value wasn't a given. So what happens? Our subconscious sets a new goal. I have to become irreplaceable to be safe, to be loved. And the strategy to get there? Overfunctioning. We start doing more, giving more, being more, all to make sure we can never be cast aside.
But here's a really interesting way to look at it. This whole strategy, this overfunctioning thing, it isn't just a flaw. Over time, it can actually morph into a kind of social superpower. It's a highly developed skill, even if it comes at a high cost.
And that superpower has a name: hyper-awareness. This is a learned ability. It's not something you're just born with. It's the skill of being incredibly, almost magically, attuned to the people around you. You pick up on all these little social and emotional cues that almost everyone else misses.
So what's the actual difference here? Well, typical awareness might be noticing, hey, my friend seems upset. But hyper-awareness, that's next level. It's about sensing a tiny shift in their tone of voice or the way they're holding themselves, and then adjusting what you're doing to stop them from ever getting upset in the first place. It's like you're constantly managing the emotional climate of the room.
And here's the crucial part, the why behind it all. This isn't just about being a nice person. It is, and I'm quoting here, the learned behavior of sensing shifts in mood to prevent being quietly swapped or forgotten. That phrase, quietly swapped, wow, it just gets right to the heart of that fear, that core wound of being replaceable. You become an expert at meeting needs so you never ever have to feel that way again.
So now that we have all of these pieces on the table, we can kind of step back and see the whole thing. This is the complete architecture of overgiving. See how it all connects? It starts with that giving imbalance, which is so often built on that deep-down feeling of being replaceable. That feeling leads to a strategy, overfunctioning, and that strategy is perfected into a skill, hyper-awareness. It's an entire system, and when you get right down to it, it's a system designed for self-protection.
And that brings us to our last thought here. Because understanding this architecture, that's a huge first step. But the real work, the really deep work, comes from asking ourselves this next question. If all this overgiving is a kind of armor that we've built around ourselves, what exactly are we protecting?